Good YouTube. Quinn Wade coming to you with that instant playoff basketball analysis on the Analysis Playground on YouTube, exclusively on there forever. As you can see, I built this just like Noah built the ark for y'all as them Hooper lovers and as fans of the game of basketball. But Pistons won 116 to 109. Detroit won the first quarter 38 to 26. Second quarter was won by Orlando 34 to 28. Detroit won the third quarter 23 to 19. And then Orlando won the fourth quarter 30 to 27. This was a really good game, more exciting than the last one. But it's just because the do or die mentality that you have to have if you're the Pistons, and the fact that you want to advance if you're the Magic, made it into more of an entertaining game. And that's good for the game of basketball and it's good for the playoffs. But when you look at the Magic, Jamal Cain didn't step up and have the big game like he had in the other one. He played 25 minutes, gave you 5 points. He went 1 of 4 from the field. He missed his only three, went 3 of 7 from the free throw line. He did get 4 rebounds. He also had 1 assist, 1 turnover. He had 1 offensive rebound, 2 personal foul, was a -9 and plus minus. You thought he'd at least give you double figures. Couldn't give you that or close to it, really. And that's the type of night that you wanted from him, but you just didn't get. Paulo Benqueto, 41 minutes, the most on the team. He was just balling. He's a number one pick. He's put in a lot of work on his game. He understands what the moment was presented in front of him. And some of these shots he never really makes ever. But tonight he had it going on automatic. He had 45. That was game high. Tied with Cade, who matched it. They wanted that same energy. And they got it from each other. And they brought out the best of each other. And they also brought the best out of their teammates, too, because they got so much attention. Paulo took 17 of 31 shots, and that was a good game for him. And then he also went 6 of 11 from 3. You want him to take the 3 instead of getting to the free throw line or even the mid-range, but he went 6 of 11 from 3. That's just a good night from him. The problem was he went 5 of 12 from the free throw line. Like, you was making everything else in this game, but you really wasn't making your free throws. I don't know how that happens, but that was one of the reasons why they lost this one. He did have the most rebounds also on the team with 9. Then he had 7 assists. He also did get 6 turnovers. It comes with the territory of knowing when to pass and knowing when to score and knowing how not to dribble too much or be too predictable. But some of those things split up on him, and it can be that way as a ball handler and as a decision maker. He's still learning that these last couple of seasons that he's been in the NBA, since he's at the highest level of competition when it comes to basketball. 2 steals, 2 offensive rebounds, 2 personal fouls, and a 0 in plus minus. Wendell Carter Jr., 34 minutes. He had 9 points. He didn't show up the way he wanted him to on the offensive end, but his defense was solid. He went 2 of 4 from the field, 1 of 3 from the three-point line, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He had 4 rebounds. He had 4 assists. He had 1 turnover. He had 1 steal. Then he ended up leading the team with 3 blocks. Like, he gave you a lot of effort, a lot of hustle, and he was doing whatever he could to have an impact on this game. Another thing that he did have a problem with was getting those 5 personal fouls. They was going at him. They was challenging him. And he kind of bailed him out a couple times. And that can happen because you're going against the best players in the world. They got so many things they want to do to you. And you don't know what they're going to do sometimes, so you get baited in. 2 offensive rebounds, a +6 and plus minus. Desmond Bane, he hit 4 of 10 from 3, went 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He did go 6 of 15 from the field. You probably want to see him make a couple more shots. But he did a good, solid job of trying to dictate what they was going to do to him and trying to counter it to the best of his ability. He had 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, and 3 steals. Jalen Suggs and also Anthony Black also had 3 steals, so he tied them with that for the most in the game for the Magic. He also had 5 personal fouls, and it can come with trying to guard a guy that's athletic, that ain't fair, ain't mad, or not going to be angry at attacking you. And he just got baited into it, and he also committed those fouls, and it's hard to stay in front of guys in the NBA, the best athletes, and they got strength too. 1 offensive rebound for Desmond Bane as well out of the 5, and it was a -2 and plus minus. And Jalen Suggs, he had a solid game as well, 37 minutes. He had 10 points. He went 4 of 9 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. He missed his only free throw. He did have 2 rebounds and 5 assists. He also had one turnover and three steals, like I said before, and two personal fouls, and he did manage to finish as a -4 and plus minus. It's just the way that it went, that he was always the guy giving up the ball and letting other guys do their thing. And since he was able to score some shots here and there off the dribble and also as a spot up scorer, he just was more of a guy giving up the ball for somebody to score or for somebody to set somebody else up. And then Tristan Da Silva, you need a bigger game from him, especially because Franz didn't play. 16 minutes, 3 points. He went 1 of 4 from the field, 0 of 2 from three, and 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He did get 3 boards. He had no turnovers. He had 2 offensive rebounds, 3 personal fouls, and was a -9 and plus minus. But you wanted him to score more and make more shots, especially because he took 2 threes and didn't make them. You wanted him to make both of those. It was a close game. It could have went either way. You need everybody to be able to make shots whenever it's time or whenever they're on the court. And then Goga Bataze, 14 minutes. He missed his only shot, but he did get some nice blocks in this one. Good anticipation, good patience to wait for it to open up, and then was able to do it without fouling. 2 turnovers, 1 rebound, 2 personal fouls, and a -13 and plus minus. And the guy that almost helped him win this game was Anthony Black. The jump shot was working. He went 4 of 6 from three, had a knock down the mid range as well for 19 points. He went 7 of 12 from the field. That was efficient. He did go 1 of 2 from the free throw line, but he also gave you 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and he did get those 3 steals. But he also gave you 3 turnovers and 5 personal fouls, and he did still finish as a -4 and plus minus. And like I said before, the Pistons did get up by double figures, and the Magic did have to fight all the way back to have a chance to win, but they was never able to get the lead or really put the Pistons in a situation where they was going to lose, because it was going to be a shot that can take the lead. So you got to give credit to the Pistons and mainly Cade, but Tobias stepped up as well. 31 minutes, he had the mid-range going really, really good in this one, and he also finished around the basket. 23 points, 9 to 18 shooting from the field, 1 to 3 from the three-point line. He went 4 of 7 from the free throw line. Of course, he want to clean that up and make a couple more next time around. He had 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, and 2 steals. He had 1 offensive rebound, 3 personal fouls, and was a +6 and plus minus. Duncan Robinson played 25 minutes. He had 12 points that he made and went 4 of 8 from the field and 3 of 6 from three and 1 of 2 from the free throw line to do it. He also had 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 offensive rebound, 1 personal foul, and was a +2 and plus minus. The wide open shots is what you want, but just making plays and moving without the basketball is something that he's great at. And he did a good job of doing those things throughout the entire game. And Durant still didn't have a dominant offensive game, but he was good on the boards and he was good with the rim protection. 28 minutes for him. He had 12 points. He went 4 of 6 from the field, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He had 9 boards, 2 assists, 3 turnovers, 2 blocks, and had a nice one in the fourth quarter that they needed. 5 offensive rebounds, meaning he was really fighting in that paint to get as many as he could. And then he did have 5 personal fouls. I know I said he had good defense, but the Magic have a lot of good athletes and a lot of physical players. So he got baited into that, and it worked. -3 and plus minus what he finished as. And then Cade, the jump shot was working. He was making some tough shots in this one. The pull-ups, the free throws. He played like a superstar. He played like an all NBA player first team. He played like an MVP in this game. 45, 13 to 23 from the field efficient, 5 of 8 from 3, 14 of 14 from the free throw line. And the thing that's crazy, they needed all of this to happen just to close out and win this game. That's how hard that this game was for the Pistons to be able to win. But K made sure they got it done, and so did his teammates. 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 turnovers. He can be that way. He's been having a lot of turnovers against the Magic. He was getting better at it towards the end of the season, and he ended up finding ways to get back in his head a little bit too much with his delivery and what he's trying to do with his passes. But hopefully he can have another game where he passes better and turns the ball over less. 1 steal, 3 offensive rebounds, 3 personal fouls, and a +3 and plus minus. Asura Thompson ended up being the only guy on the Pistons in the starting lineup to not score in double figures in points. He had 6. He went 3 of 5 from the field, He went 0-2 from the free throw line, but he still helped out because he got 15 boards, which was the most on the team. He also gave you 6 assists. The worst thing he did was give you 5 turnovers, and a lot of it can just be too caught up in what you're trying to do and what you really want to do. But it's a mental game, and basketball has always been that way, and it ended up not working out for him a lot in this one. But he ended up getting some things back because he did have 5 steals. That was game high in the game. And it's good that he was able to do that because when you turn the ball over, you feel like you got to get him back if you can without fouling. He did only have one personal foul, so it worked out for him a little bit. And then he had 2 blocks on top of that, which was tied with Duran for the most in the team. And it's good to have a guard that can get that many steals and block and rebounds when he isn't trying to score as much. And it worked out for him in this one because he didn't take a lot of shots, but he also didn't miss a lot. He only missed 2. And then he had 4 offensive rebounds out of the 15, meaning he still had a double digit amount because he had 11 defensive rebounds. He was a -2 and plus minus. Isaiah Stewart, 20 minutes. He had 5 points. He went 1 of 3 from the field. He did miss his only 3. He also went 3 or 4 from the free throw line. He had 5 boards. That ended up being the most off the bench. He had no turnovers. He had a block, 1 offensive rebound, 3 personal fouls, and was a +10 and plus minus. Javante Green, 15 minutes. He had 5 points. He went 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3. He ended up having 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and a steal. No personal foul, was a +4 and plus minus. I know you wanted to make at least another 3, but the fact that he was able to score and play some defense out there competitively, you had to be happy with what he did. Karis LeVert, 25 minutes. You still want him to shoot the ball better. He had 2 points. He went 1 of 4 from the field, misses only 3. He's a guy that can score and create. He did have 2 assists in this one as well and 3 rebounds, but he also had a turnover. But I think he can do a lot more for this team, especially because he played 25 minutes. He had 1 offensive rebound, 4 personal fouls. He also was a +5 and plus minus. And then Jenkins, he played 16 minutes. He had 6 points. He didn't score that well. He went 2 of 8 from the field. He also missed every single 3, finished 0 of 5 from 3. I say it like that because 5 threes is a lot, especially when a lot of them is wide open. And then he went 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He's important to the success of this team. He's important to how this team is ran and how the offense flows. So he's got to be more efficient. He got to be more dangerous when he's open. But he's still got another game guaranteed now to play better. So hopefully he does. And I think he can be a big difference in winning and losing in this series. He had 2 assists on top of that. He also got no turnovers, a steal, a personal foul, and was a +10 and plus minus. Both teams took 80 field goals, 49% from the field for the Pistons, 48% for the Magic, 28 3-pointers taken by the Pistons. They shot 36%. 38 taken by the Magic. They shot 45%. So the Pistons took 10 less threes, and they made it at a worse percentage than the Magic. That helped the Magic get back in the game, have a chance to win it. And Paulo did a big job of that. And then 35 free throws taken by the Pistons. 80% is what they shot. And then the Magic took 5 less, but they only made 53% of them. Like I said, that was a big reason why they couldn't win this game is because they missed way too many free throws in this one, and they committed a lot of fouls on top of that. And then they got out rebounded 49-33, but they did win the assist battle by 121-20. They got less turnovers by 1 because the Pistons had 17 while they had 16. And then 10 steals for the Pistons, 12 for the Magic. Both teams had 5 blocks, 16 offensive rebounds for the Pistons, 8 for the Magic, and then 33 defensive rebounds for the Pistons, 25 for the Magic, and then 21 personal fouls for the Pistons, 26 for the Magic. I mean, the Pistons, man, they really had trouble winning this game. They had a lot of problems with how the Magic was doing things, and I feel like it was just good to see 2 number 1 picks battling it out, showing you why they got led their teams to the playoffs, showing you how good they really are, showing you how important they feel that this game was for both sides, and giving us a clash that was very fun and entertaining, and seeing some really, really tough shot making happening on both ends between the entire game. Not just the fourth quarter, it was through the entire game. And this is what you have to do as a leader. This is what you have to do as a franchise player. This is why you get paid the big dollars. This is why you get all the minutes. This is why you get all the touches. This is why the ball is in your hands. And both of them showed up and showed out. And it was very fun and entertaining to watch. and their teammates came and stepped in and scored when they could, stepped up defensively when they could, and they just played a little harder. The rebounds made a difference. They didn't settle a lot of times, and even when they did, they had some space, they had some room, so it still was a good quality look. They just had to knock them down, and tonight they was doing that, and it's a good win for the Pistons. The problem is they can't lose another game, and they have to win the next game, and it's going to be tough to do that again because it was tough to win this one. So the Magic has been giving the Pistons more than what they can chew. They really been having a lot of problems beating this team and staying ahead against this team. Their defense isn't really working enough, and even when it does, the Magic still know how to make runs. They still know how to stay in the game and give themselves a chance to win. And they have won more games in this series than the Pistons. The Pistons got a chance to tie it. They still got a chance to win it. They got to feel like they can get it done. They have to approach it seriously. They have to come really ready to play like they did in this one. And even if they had to get off to an early lead and cruise a little bit when it comes to hanging in there offensively, it's better than losing the game. So I don't know how they're going to get it done. I don't know how the game is going to play out. But as long as it's close and as long as it's entertaining and as long as both teams going out there duking it out to get it done, to the best of their ability and leaving it all out there, I'm going to have respect for both teams like I had coming into the series. Like I said, I didn't think the Pistons was going to sweep them. I didn't think it was going to be easy. I thought it was going to be tough for them, and it ended up being the right analysis. I just didn't think they'd be trailing in the series. I didn't think they'd be losing the way that they did, but they still do have a chance to win. We see if they do in the next one. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell to get the analysis when it first come out. Y'all stay blessed up. Y'all stay good. Peace. And I'll see y'all later today, man, with more analysis.